Salaki about that phone had cut off. Satan trying to hinder the truth, but still gonna bring it out. This is just exciting times that we're in, for the simple fact that you're watching the transformation of power from one kingdom, Esau, Edom, to another, being Israel. And before that transformation of power, there has to be, how would you say, exposing of the false, because there's like pertaining to the book of Ecclesiasticus, the Lord put two against each other, and you Edomites will put against the so-called white people, will put up against us so-called black people. See, with the victor being Jacob, and as we speak, Apostle Tahar deemed this year 2018 the year of prophecy. So these prophecies are coming to speak. They're coming to pass. They're not lying. And you Edomites are being shown to be the devils that the Bible speaks of. So ex-pastor charged with rape at gunpoint and shooting woman in the head. A former evangelical pastor known for his rants against gun control measures was charged with kidnapping, murder, and sodomy after an attack at a Catholic supply store. So as you can see, the Lord has been passing judgment completely. He's going to continue to pass judgment until his word is established throughout all four corners. Well, pertaining to the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, the gospel has been preached throughout the four corners for a witness unto all nations. So now the end is going to come. And part of that end coming is you Edomites being exposed and also going through judgment. 53-year-old Thomas Bruce of Missouri is facing 17 criminal charges after holding 3 women at gunpoint in a Catholic supply store in St. Louis, forcing them into a back room and commanding them to perform deviant sexual acts. The St. Louis police said at a press conference when one of the women failed to comply, Bruce allegedly shot her in the head. It's alleged. The demonic, violent nature of Esau is starting to come out. He can't hide it anymore. Matter of fact, let me get a quick precept just to back that statement up. Because everything that we say, we try to filter it through the scriptures. That's how we know that apostle starting at Great Millstone, start with the apostles and elders on down. They have 100% truth. Fresh out the gate. Let me get this. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And this is clearly the case. You see? Especially ever since the implementation of YouTube, the masses, the apostles and elders have been able to feed the masses of the sheep. When I say the lost sheep, talking about of Israel, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, so you can wake up to your true nationality, and it also has gone on record that I believe his name is J. Rockefeller. He said that one of the worst things ever created was the internet. Why? Because this is how the word got out. The apostles and elders, they say that the internet did the heavy lifting for them. And we agree, because this reached the masses. Now you have Israelite camps in all the countries. Well, it's like all four corners, rather. From all the way from GMS in the UK and England, London, all the way down to US and GMS in Guyana. GMS in Hawaii. Got the brother Yahweh Gabar out there. So this word is spreading like wildfire, and rightfully so, because it is time. Like it tells you in the book of Habakkuk, 2nd chapter, the vision is yet for an appointed time, and that appointed time is now. Matter of fact, I'll just get it real quick. And Salakia for all the noise that you hear. As we speak, the demon's going to be popping off these people. So, because as you know, we are in a time of judgment. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And that's this is the vision that we were talking about. Right now, seeing these Edomites come down out of power. As a matter of fact, I'll continue to read. Verse 4, because this is the point. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And the just is talking about Israel, you Israelites, are primarily the elect, because we're the only ones that's going to sit here and live and die by Hamashiach. You know, we're going to live and die with Christ, pertaining to book of 1 Corinthians and also the book of Philippians, first chapter. And his soul that is lifted up is talking about Esau. His soul is lifted up with what? It's lifted up with pride, and that's why it's not upright in him. In order for you to be upright, you have to have a humble, contrite spirit. And the opposite of a humble, contrite spirit is a proud, haughty spirit. And that's Esau to the T. That's why he's sitting here committing these funny acts, for the simple fact that the Lord is exposing. It's time for Esau to come down out of power, and we know that because Esau is being exposed as being, so-called white man is being exposed as being the devil, and Esau that the Bible speaks of. You see? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Yeah, and spoiled means robbed. So everyone around Esau is spoiled but him. So that's how we know that it's time for you Edomites to come down out of power. And you're coming down out of power, rather, pertaining like to the book of Luke, the 10th chapter. I'll get that, Lord's willing. The horrific attack occurred in the middle of the day on Monday, resulting in a 2-day manhunt that ended with Bruce's arrest. Over 100 police also raided his residence, a trailer sporting a large "Don't Tread on Me" flag, searching for evidence. Yeah, this is the booking photo right there. Aside from having worked as a pastor, Bruce's LinkedIn page lists him as having been the manager of a Jewish community center, as well as having studied the Bible and counseling at Calvary Chapel Bible College. He had no previous criminal record, but had recently filed for bankruptcy. Yeah, so there you go. You know, one of them devils got caught bright front and center trying to be a demon. Matter of fact, we'll get another precept. This is in the book of Revelation. And you know revelation means to reveal. So this is what the Lord revealed to John the Revelator on the island of Patmos. This is Revelation 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. And you can see this clearly written in the red letter. So it's like, you know, this is Yahweh Hamashiach talking to John. And John represents Israel, you know. And primarily the elect, the men that are sighing and crying for the abominations being done in the midst of, like pertaining to the book of Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. You know, these fake gutter rat Jews, the Lord is letting you know that he knows our works and tribulations, but we're rich, you know. And just to reiterate that, this is Revelation 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. And that's written in the red letter as well, that, you know, Yahweh shall speak, you know. And how will those fake gutter rat Jews, how will it be known that the Lord has, how will the Lord make it known that he has loved us? Through them, by making them bow to us. And how are you going to make them bow to us? The Edomites have to be taken out of power, and that's exactly what the Lord is doing. It was Luke chapter 10, verse 18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. And, you know, Satan basically represents, and this the latter part of the precept was written in the red letter as well. Like, you know, Yahweh was speaking yet again. And he said, Satan represents Esau. The spiritual demon, Satan, is the physical counterpart to the spiritual demon. Satan is the so-called white man, which is Esau. And lightning is a fast action, and heaven is equated to rulership. So Yahweh basically in a parabolic way is saying that he saw the so-called white man falling out of his rulership very quickly. You know, verse 19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Yeah, and this is talking about that's pertaining to Jake. You know, when the Lord, when Yahweh was talking to the disciples. You Once Satan comes down out of power, the Lord's going to give us power over the serpent, power to tread on the serpents and scorpions. And the serpents and scorpions is talking about you wickeds, primarily you no good so-called Jews, and you other 6 Joe Pack Edomites. Ironically, his social media presence also includes numerous rants against criminals and gun control laws. On his Twitter, Bruce describes himself as a decorated Navy vet and trusty shellback, and employees as the hashtag Make America Great Again hashtag. Just last week, he made a post that reads, "We should stop expecting criminals to follow the rules. I'm hoping we can end gun-free zones and put the criminals on notice that they will be stopped." Yeah. And as a matter of fact, we'll get a quick precept after I read this. When asked if the state would pursue the death penalty, St. Louis County Prosecutor Robert McCullough responded that while the aggravated circumstances are certainly there, it will ultimately be the next prosecutor's decision, as McCullough's term ends at the end of the year. He described the attack as one of the worst he has seen in his career, saying the crime had shocked the senses. Yeah, and it shocked the senses for the simple fact that you would never think that this goddamn Edomite would do such a thing. Why? Because you all have been fooled. This is the book of Job, chapter 20. I start at the 4th verse, but keep it light. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Now you look up that. Matter of fact, while we're here, just for edification purposes, Salaki.
Hanif.
Yeah, Salaki.
Strong's H 2611. Hanif.
Yeah, and it says hypocritical, godless, profane, hypocrite, irreligious. And when you look up into it deeper, it means an actor, And that's exactly who Esau is. He acts like he's holier than thou, Get this real quick. This book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take as my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing that thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee. That's exactly what Esau does. Esau acts like he follows law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father, and then he turns right around and disregards the law and starts to commit wickedness. Verse 18, when thou sawest a thief, then thou contendest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. This is exactly what these Edomites do, because as you know, this guy, this guy Bruce, when he was brought up, his involvement in the ministry, what did he do? He sat here and taught at a Jewish center. And ish is a suffix, which means like or pertaining to. So Jewish people are like or pertaining to who? Those real Jews, which are your so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And a confusion of faces that was scattered amongst the 4 corners. But that's another lesson for another time. This is the point, verse 21. These things thou hast done, I kept silence. So the Most High is letting you know that he kept silence, because he allowed Esau, pertaining to the book of Job, the 9th chapter. Let me get that real quick. As you can see, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, the 24th verse. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the Lord letting you know that if it's not this man who he put in charge that is the wicked, then where and who is he? Getting back to the precept. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Though thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. And this is exactly what the Lord is doing. He's putting the whole nation of Edom in subjection, right, and reproving them right before our very eyes. And it's a beautiful thing. We can't wait. So As a matter of fact, before I even finish, let me get another preset before I close out. Get this in the Apocrypha real quick, because this is exactly what people don't understand what's going on in society and how this is an exciting time for the simple fact that the Lord is transferring the powers. You know? This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 10, verse 7. Pride is hateful before the Most High, and by both doth one commit iniquity. This is the point, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Yeah, and that's exactly what you're seeing. You know, the kingdom is going from the Edomites to us Israelites, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. So Lord's willing, you is edified, like they have all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hawakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, and shalom to the elect.